We've been sitting on the plane an extra 45 minutes because it broke down. But we might make it to Kotzebue tonight. It is 7 o'clock Tuesday, the 23rd, the day that we fly out to our hunting camp. We're gonna heat up some leftover pizza from last night for breakfast. We stayed at the only hotel in Kotzebue. I'd say the name, but I really can't because, well, I can't. It had a beautiful view of the ocean.
Good tonight, this morning as it was last night.
And I slept like a baby. My dad slept pretty good, and Jason got to stay up and listen to us both snore. So we'll eat for a minute and then we'll go catch our plane. Well, I guess that he just texted us and said that we're on a weather hold. It's raining outside, it's windy outside, so we'll sit in the hotel room for a little while longer and hopefully we'll be able to get out of here today.
Got some guys doing some net fishing out of their boat. Just right outside our hotel window here. Kind of cool. Ran their nets from pretty much the road here, right at the base, all the way out to where they're at. They're at halfway where their nets are and their buoys over here. But kind of cool watching them for a minute.
Sitting in the hangar waiting on weather. So we ordered food and they brought it right to the hangar.
On our own. In camp, first night. Got everything set up. Just having some dinner. Got the Alpine Air 3 cheese chicken pasta. Pretty good, I do say so. I'm a fan of it. So, snowing on us out there right now. Got everything set up, just kind of hanging out, and hopefully the weather is a little nicer tomorrow for us, but that's what we got so far. What's today?
Hunt day!
Camp down on the river, and we hiked across through the flat up on top of this little knob we're on, and I'm gonna spend a little time here glassing pretty little lake up here in this flat. Got a couple of good drainages there, and over here to look at, and then the main drainage coming down through this. So we'll spend the majority of the day up on top of here and see if we can find anything. That tussocks is everything they said it was. Bowling balls on a waterbed walking across, so it takes a long time, and all this down through here is that tussock stuff, so it's not very fun to walk through, that's for sure, but good vantage point here, so we'll see what we can turn up. This is where we were glassing earlier. View back towards the main river, back to camp. Tent is right about here, and just glassing back this way. I've seen our first caribou. There's no way you'll be able to see it on this, but I see that little lake. They're straight behind that lake, a few miles away, so no way we're gonna get to them today, but anyway, kind of cool to see a couple of wild caribou. See the storms are starting to set in a little bit. Clouds are lowering on the hillsides. That one right there looks like it's pushing right towards us, so we might be getting some weather here in a minute. And I don't know, we might not stay up on here very long, as windy and cold as it is. Took us probably an hour and a half, 2 hours just to get to camp, and it's less than, oh man, it's barely a half mile, so kind of rough going. But we'll figure out a game plan and see what we come up with.
See the tops of the caribou up on the hill. They're skylined. They're 580 yards away. But the wind's a little more than what we want to shoot through. So we're coming up with a game plan on how to get a little closer. They're just feeding. They've been there for a while. But we're gonna head out and see if we can get to them without scaring them. It's 4 o'clock, just a little after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Hoping to make something happen today because the weather's supposed to get pretty nasty for the rest of our trip.
Well, crazy turn of events here real quick. I saw those bulls we were putting the sneak on the other side of that hill. Sorry, it's raining and coming down pretty good. But anyways, came up over the top of that ridge. On the back side there's a little bench. Saw some horns right in front of us, so I dropped down. Lindsay was behind me. Two of them were coming across the hill, and so she waited for one of those, and the close one ended up feeding right to us, and she shot it at 40 yards. And the other ones kind of filtered around. I didn't see the big one yet. We'd saw earlier. I really wanted a chance at that big one, so I told her to go ahead if she wanted that smaller one. Still great bull with her bow, but anyways, they shot it over on the back side of this hill, and the other two fed around this direction, so I snuck around, got on the back side of this little bench here. There's a bowl and nothing was in there. Right where I'm sitting here, when I topped out on that one, I saw him just walking over the top of this little knob here, a rainbow, and picked out the bull I wanted, and he is right down there. So he's just tipped over. You can just barely see his horns tipping up, but Lindsay and her dad stayed back there to take care of hers in this lovely rainstorm. I decided to see if I could come over here, and got her done. Too bad we didn't get anything on video, but I wasn't gonna let this one slide. We're already far enough back from the tent as it is, so I figured we better see what we can do. But it's gorgeous up here. Light little rain, sun shining. Wet from the pants down, but I got the Helly Hansen on, the jacket, so I'm dry up above. But we'll go start taking care of this guy and see how he looks. I'm pretty happy with it. Caribou down in the books. He's pretty nice. Pretty tickled with him, so get some other pictures, take care of him, and get out of the rain here. We're about packed out here. We're two-thirds of the way anyways. And over on the back side of that, so where I got mine, and Lindsay's is mid-slope to the left there. I had to come all the way across this tussocks. Nasty stuff. 9 What time is it? 9:45ish?
Probably.
Kind of dusky out, but hopefully getting down to camp before dark for sure, but we're about beat. 11:30. Made it back to camp. It's brighter outside than the video does, but kind of dusky or whatnot. Anyways, we're just cooking some top of the ramen in here. What day is it today?
Pack day.
Mm.
Well, guys, we just woke up. It's like probably 10:30, but we had a big day yesterday, bringing in Jason's Caribou. We hiked to the other side of the river to the top of the mountain. We glassed the Caribou back across behind camp.
You haven't seen them mountains yet.
And so we came off that mountain. It was probably, I don't know, maybe a mile, maybe not quite that. Through the tundra, down through the willows, across creek, back up around over to our Caribou where we shot him, which is probably a good solid 2 miles. But the tundra and stuff makes it kind of more challenging and a slow go. Anyways, lucked into having a caribou get within 30 yards, and I shot it with my bow. Jason took off after the big one that was still in the herd that went up just behind the ridge, and he was able to shoot the biggest caribou that we've seen and probably will see. It was a really nice caribou. A storm blew in on us. It was definitely Alaskan weather, definitely cold, windy, rainy. So me and Dad gutted mine out, field dressed it, got it all put in our game bags, and then we took off to meet Jason. We left all of my caribou underneath of a wind bivvy up there with my bow, just trying to go to Jason as light as we could. We put Jason's on our backs and we brought him in last night. It took us a few hours to get him down off through all the tussocks and tundra and hills and rivers, and made it back to camp about 10:30 last night, ate, went to bed. So we're just leaving camp this morning. We're gonna head up, get my caribou loaded up, which shouldn't be too hard because, like I say, it's already in game bags. Gonna get my bow, which I'm hoping some grizzly hasn't strung halfway across the mountain, and we're gonna hopefully make it back. My goal, it's probably 11 o'clock probably. My goal is to make it back by 4. That'll be pushing it.
Just made it up to Lindsay's caribou she'd got with her bow yesterday. Getting the meat all squared away in packs and caped out. And Lindsay looked down below us and saw a grizz. And you can't see it in here, but anyways, he's on that yellow flat about right to the tip of my finger. You can see him in the binos pretty good, but anyways, she saw him there, and we are camped just right on the back side of this little, right there, just on the back side of that down the creek. So we're gonna keep an eye on him as we make our way out of here and make sure he doesn't make it our way. So anyways, kind of cool though. Here we are, loaded up, headed out. Grizz is still down in the bottom. Keep an eye on him. All loaded up. I got the same thing on too, so Off we go down the hill to the flat, around the point of that slide mountain in front. Oh, what happened, Linz?
Well, so we were walking along and I was asking Jason to get a Snickers out of my bag because I'm really hungry. And we know there's a bear on our route back to camp. And so we're walking along, talking, whatever, I even sang a little bit. And we're looking and we cannot see the bear anywhere. And you're like, well, if it's close, we should be able to see it. Sure as shit, that thing stood up right here in these bushes.
These first
like
green bushes.
25 yards away, maybe 30 yards. Stood up, and he wasn't real big. It's probably just one that got kicked off of his mom maybe this year. It's not a real big, but I mean, come on, it's a grizzly bear. It's a big bear.
He's a couple years old for sure.
So I can actually see him still running over there.
Yeah.
So we stood up, and I don't know what I said, if I said bear. Dad said bear. And I screamed like a little sissy girl because it was pretty close. I grabbed my pistol out and I just shot into the air. And that thing took out of here, thank heavens. And he's still on a dead run. So
I feel so much better.
I feel really good
There he goes,
that
clear
he's
across
going to
the
stay away
flat.
from camp because we've had a close
See him.
encounter. And
Right, tip of my finger, he's running.
now I think he's got a little bit of fear in him.
Is he going east yet?
He's
He's
Headed straight
headed
to
to
the
the
river.
river. He's probably going to hit the river and head out. Hopefully he doesn't head up to our camp.
That's cool.
It wasn't. He
That was
wasn't
cool.
Wasn't being aggressive, but damn, he scared us.
Yeah, when all of a sudden you see a bear head pop up out of the brush, you kind of
He like
Wake
stood up
up.
and he seen us, and he got just as scared as we did. He stood up and we made eye contact, and he went down, and I reached for my pistol, which took me a second because I was flustered. And as he took out, I just shot just to get him going. I mean, didn't shoot at him, but that was an adventure.
exciting.
Exciting.
stories.
That's right where the bear stood up at us. About 22 yards away, we're figuring. And took off and running down there and across the flat. But give you an idea how close he was, is just right there at that bush.
Slow and easy. Good job.
Like a pro.
Today I think is Friday. We've had 3 sleeps, so it's our 4th day. And we woke up and the ground's froze. We're all a little sore from packing out Caribou for the last 2 days. Here's camp. And we are gonna start a fire this morning. We have a bunch of stuff that needs dried out. Even though we were all wearing our rain gear, everything's just damp in camp. It definitely has condensed and made everything just damp. Beautiful picture of the mountains, snow. It is definitely cold up here.
What you having, Lance?
Oatmeal. Pretty good.
What you having, Claire?
It's called breakfast skillet.
Mm,
Pretty good.
nice. Just up here fishing. Day after we got Lindsay's caribou out. Caught me a little grayling. Sure is a pretty fish. Kind of cool. Had a couple big ones hit. I'm not sure what they are. If they were some Dolly Vardens or what for sure they were. They might have been salmon. I don't know for sure, but a couple big ones came at mine and Lindsay's too. But nothing. Been sitting here glassing on the sandbar. We've seen a couple bear, a few caribou moving through. And anyways, that's kind of where we're at. Claire's back behind us on the big sandbar glassing, and Lindsay's just down there a little bit throwing some lures. But on the hills behind us, got quite a bit of snow. Got cold last night. Water bottles froze on the tent. The moisture that was on it was froze. But pretty gorgeous up here. Sun shining, blue skies for the most part. Beautiful day today. Hope they all stay like this. Just as I turned the video on here, I noticed I got some inReach messages, so we'll check those and hopefully everything's good back home. So stay tuned.
What?
Got ourselves a grizz on the skyline right there. We're using the spot and scope, so it's not ideal. Well guys, it's Saturday. It's our 4th day being here. And it rained and blew and did all the nasty all night long. And so, I don't know, what time is it? 10 o'clock? Mm-hmm. Probably 10 o'clock, and we're in the tent. Jason's reading about caribou. I'm gonna probably go back to bed. I got more sleep on this trip than you could have even imagined. Dad's in his tent, and he's probably gonna go to sleep for a little while, and if it clears out, we'll start glassing for Dad a caribou, but as of now, it looks like a tent day.
Lindsay woke me up last night, said she heard something across the creek, and eating breakfast. Claire looks across the river here, and there's a bear up on the hillside, just across the river. So our Dad and her are checking it out. It's just right up on this point, right back there. Actually feeding down towards the creek. Looks like it's just going back and forth across that hillside there, but not as big as the sow and cubs we saw on the back hillside this morning over there. But I think that's 9 bears we've seen right here from camp. But kind of cool. There's a grizzly right here at our camp.
Should I shoot?
We might have to.
I don't want it to get comfortable.
I know, me either. There is my meat hanging, and there's the grizzly.
Get out of here! Get out of here! Hey!
Well, I needed some more then.
Get out of here!
Get another gun. Get another pistol.
Hey!
Get your dingo.
Come down here on the bank.
Hey! Back! Back! Hey!
Get out of here!
Hit the ground. Don't hit him.
Get out of here!
Hey, back! 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 Hit the ground. Back! 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 Go get a real gun. He's coming at us. He's coming to the camp.
Here's where the bear came across. And we were just right on the other side of those tall willows, probably 40-ish yards away. And you see his water trail where he got out here and walked across into the willows, circled right around our camp here. So still a little unsure where he's at. We took a couple warning shots at him and he wasn't even interested in leaving at all. He just kind of moseyed around us here. I was yelling at him and Lindsay took a couple shots at the ground, or Dad took a couple shots at the ground, and he didn't really care. Just walked into the bushes here and circled around towards the tent. So we're a little unsure where he's at still, but we're just checking things out.
Well, today's Sunday. It's the last day that we can hunt. And as you can hear from the rain on our tent, we are reined in for the second day in a row. We did put on our rain gear, went outside, we've tried to glass, we fought off a grizzly, we've had quite the day. I went fishing in the rain for a little while, but everything's so fogged in, we can't glass anything, you can't see anything, we don't know where to go hunting, which side of the river to go on. So it looks like we might not be getting Dad his caribou, which really sucks. But I just don't even know how we could with the weather what it is. So I guess that's hunting. You take it for what it is. But we've had a really good time, we really have. It's been definitely an Alaskan experience. What do you say, babe?
Mm-hmm. What you doing?
Playing cards because we're reined in again for day number 2 in a row. We can't get Dad a caribou because it won't stop raining, and because we have to stay and defend our camp against the grizzly bear, and I feel really bad that we can't get Dad a caribou. So we're playing cards. Guys, last night at 5:18, we were awoken from a dead sleep by something running through our camp. And we didn't know what it was. We didn't get out of our tents. You know, safety precautions. But this morning we got up and there is a bear track right by our tents. I think what must have happened is I probably went to turn, roll over in my sleep, and it kind of woke me up because I heard as soon as he moved, I heard him take out of here, and he must have heard me roll over, but our tent is literally right there. So that was a little exciting. We've had more grizzly encounters than I thought we would, and probably more than most people would find safe. So it's our last morning Carry the Plains coming in today, and unfortunately it's the best day that we've had weather-wise. It's blue skies, it's not too cold, no wind, but with the grizzlies getting more I don't know, just coming around more, I think I feel better about us leaving. We can't cross the river anymore to go on the other side for a caribou because it came up probably 6 inches, and when we crossed it before, it was already getting pretty swift and strong to walk through. So It is the best day that we've had as far as weather, but we are going home today.
Last morning here, we just came over to the river to check out where we'd crossed the very first day. We walked right down here on this gravel bar, down around here, and then straight across over here. Now you can see this gravel bar is completely underwater. With the rains we've had the last 2 days, it's filled up the river a few inches higher. This was just a little puddle right here the first day we crossed, and now it's completely filled in from up above. So I got a lot of rain up here, and anyways, a little too swift for us to probably make it across. We're thinking no good today anyways, being our last day, but kind of crazy.
Waiting for the plane, we're doing a little fishing, and Jason just got himself a fish.